Talk about a celebration. On what should have been a pretty straightforward 126th anniversary, FC Barcelona decided instead to give us a heart-stopping 3-1 comeback win over Alavés. This wasn't just another win on the board, this was a massive statement. So let's break down exactly how they pulled off this incredible victory.
So how do you even define a match like this? Was it a complete disaster just 44 seconds in? Or was it the ultimate comeback story, a showcase of a champion's grit? Well, the truth is, it was kind of both, and that's exactly what made it so unforgettable.
And like any great comeback story, this one begins with an absolute nightmare of a start at the Camp Nou.
44 seconds, that's it. Before a lot of the fans had probably even found their seats, the entire game plan was just in shreds. Barcelona was already trailing. You really couldn't write a worse way to kick off an anniversary party.
And it all unraveled from a simple corner kick. Marc Casado doesn't get the clearance right. A small error, but it's a critical one. It keeps Pablo Ibanez onside, and he just stabs the ball home. And just like that, it's 1-0 to Alavés. You got to feel for Marc Bernal, too, making his first start in 15 months, only to get caught right in the middle of that chaos.
But here's the thing about conceding that early. It either breaks a team, or it lights a fire under them. For Barcelona? Oh, it definitely lit a fire. This is where we got to see a classic champion's response.
And the response was immediate. They were trailing at 44 seconds, but just 7 minutes later, they were level again. That kind of rapid turnaround isn't just about skill. It's a sign of some serious mental strength. They didn't panic. They just went on the attack. And this wasn't some scrappy, lucky goal either. This was pure quality. You've got Alejandro Balde and Rafinha combining brilliantly down the wing, and Rafinha delivers this perfect cutback across the box. Lamine Yamal meets it with an absolute rocket of a one-touch shot right into the top corner. Just like that, we're all tied up at 1-1.
Now, we just mentioned Rafinha setting up that goal, but his influence on this game was so much bigger than that. He was, without a shadow of a doubt, the architect of this entire comeback.
And you have to remember, this was his first start in over 2 months. But he played like a man possessed, directly creating both of the first-half goals with 2 brilliant assists. He was just unplayable on the wing, a total nightmare for the Alavés defense. They had absolutely no answer for him.
Every great comeback has that one single moment where you can feel the tide truly turn. For Barcelona, it was a quick 1-2 punch that completely flipped the momentum of the match. It all started right here, with what a lot of people are calling one of the saves of the season. Alavés is on a counterattack, Johnny Otto is through on goal, and the keeper, Joan Garcia, pulls off a sensational stop to keep the score level at 1-1. I'm telling you, without this save, the comeback might never have happened.
And then, immediately after that heroic save, Barcelona goes right down the other end of the field. And who orchestrates it? Rafinha, of course. He delivers another perfect cutback, and this time it's Dani Olmo who fires it home. To go from nearly being 2-1 down to taking a 2-1 lead in a matter of seconds, just incredible. This was also a huge story of personal redemption for Lamine Yamal. After a pretty tough game in the Champions League, he was just brilliant here. He didn't just score that crucial equalizer, he was a constant threat to the defense all game long, earning himself a stellar 8 out of 10 rating. A fantastic bounce-back performance from the young star.
So they've got the lead. The final act of the game was all about control, about making sure there were no more dramatic twists in the tale.
And a huge part of their strategy to seal the deal was simply to dominate the ball. By holding 63% of the possession, they could control the tempo, tire out the Alavés' press, and just methodically close out the game.
But here's a fascinating little detail. If you look at the expected goals, or XG, which basically measures how good a team's chances were, Alavés actually created higher quality opportunities. So what does that tell us? It tells us Barcelona didn't win by creating more, they won by being ruthlessly efficient and clinical with the chances they did get.
It wasn't entirely smooth sailing, though. Alavés pushed really hard at the end, forcing some crucial blocks from the defense, especially from Pau Cubarsí. But then, in stoppage time, with everyone's nerves jangling, Barcelona broke away on a lightning-fast transition. Yamal found Olmo, who slotted home his second goal to finally seal the deal.
Looking back, this victory was really built on some huge individual performances.
You had Yamal's redemption goal, Olmo's 2 decisive strikes, and of course, Rafinha's creative masterclass. But you could argue that none of it would have mattered without Joan Garcia's absolutely match-defining save. It was a true team effort, with different players stepping up at just the right moments.
So this victory makes it 6 straight wins for them, pushing them to the top of the table. But the challenges only get bigger from here. Next up is a massive clash against an in-form Atletico Madrid. So the final question is, was this comeback a one-off display of character, or is it the start of a real championship-winning run? I guess we'll find out in the next match.